Hey Clarinet players, Mr. Lenz here again. Now that you've watched the video on how to properly assemble your clarinet and how to hold the instrument, you're ready to make your first sounds at home after your first lesson. So just to review a little bit of what we talked about in your lesson today, let's start with how we put the reed on. So this can be a tricky part for some people. There is an important thing to remember. There's a flat side to the reed, the back side here, and it's usually got the brand of the reed on the back here. And then there's a rounded side there. So the flat side is what goes up against the facing of the mouthpiece. You're just going to stick it right on there. And what you want to do is just make sure that that's square on the mouthpiece facing. It's not hanging off the side either way a little bit, down too far, or up over the end. This can make it really hard to get a sound on the instrument. So make sure that that reed is on there square, just like that. Then you're going to take your ligature. That's this round metal thing. There's a smaller opening and a larger opening. You're going to put the larger end opening on first, like this, very carefully. This is where sometimes people can chip the reed, which is kind of a bummer, and then your reed's done. So just be very careful putting it on this way, and you're just going to slide it down so it's nice and firm on there. Make sure it's past the ridge on the top of the mouthpiece. See how it's down far enough. Sometimes people don't have the screws loosened up enough, and so their ligature's up tight like this, and that can kind of keep the reed from vibrating like it should. So we put it all the way down, and then we just tighten the screws so that they're snug. Now, if you have a tendency to be a little accident prone or chipping reeds a lot, what you can do is put the ligature on like this, just put it up a little bit, and slide the reed down into there like that, and slide the ligature down. That way you don't lose as many reeds to being chipped when you're sliding it over the top. So now that your ligature is on, your reed is on square, look at the bottom and the top to make sure it's on square. We're ready to put it in our mouth and play to make a sound. Now, just remember what we talked about in our first lessons, the fundamentals of a clarinet embouchure. And we always start with our corners and chin being firm and set. And the best way to do this is to do this. You go, ooh, like that. So you get firm corners and a flat chin. So try that with me. You're gonna go, ooh. Exactly. Firm corners, flat chin. And the clarinet just goes in our mouth with that setup. We want the bottom lip, just the red part, right over our teeth. That's where the reed part of our mouthpiece goes. Like that. And then top teeth on the mouthpiece, on the top. Now, if that bothers you putting it on that plastic part, you can get a rubber bumper there, so it's not as weird on the top teeth there. You can pick that up at your local music store. So, over the bottom lip over the bottom teeth, top teeth set, keeping your corners firm and your chin flat, like this. And you can make your first sounds. Now, if you don't want to worry about holding the clarinet, what you can do at first is squawking on the barrel and mouthpiece. And do the same thing, just making sure you get the right setup, and you can squawk on the mouthpiece. And it should be that high pitch there. Now, you'll know if you're not doing it right if it's down really low, or making really low squeaking sounds or high squeaking sounds like that. Here are some common pitfalls when students are trying to play the clarinet with their embouchure there. And parents, you can help your student with this. Make sure you're not puffing your cheeks out. Like that, you'll get a lot of squeaks and squawks. If you're too far in on the mouthpiece, then you'll get squeaks and squawks as well. If you're too thin on the mouthpiece, meaning not enough mouthpiece in there, then nothing will come out. It pinches the end of the reed shut there, and you won't be able to get any air through. So that's an indicator that maybe you should try just a little more mouthpiece. If it squeaks at you really bad, then maybe you need just a little bit less. Another thing that I see students sometimes fall into is they get too much lip crammed in there. They're trying to put a little more mouthpiece in, and then they end up shoving too much lip in there. And that changes the sound of the instrument quite a bit too. And they get this weird stuffy sound there. So just make sure the bottom lip, just the red part right over your teeth, top teeth on the mouthpiece there, just like that. Making your first sounds there. So the other thing is making sure that we're sitting up nice and tall. clarinet position is like we talked about in the previous video, and strong air support. Just like every other wind instrument, it takes a lot of air. Hopefully that's helpful as you're making your first sounds at home, showing off to your parents what you just learned on your clarinet today. Keep practicing hard, and I'll see you in your next lesson.